Well, I want to just quickly wrap up here, because I know we are just about out of time. And let me pull back to our PowerPoint. Give me a moment here. There we go. So in terms of, this is, I think this gives you a little bit of a flavor of some of the work that we do, how we do it. We look to train diverse women experts and connect them, and the piece around mentoring is one of the critical things that we do. We have, I'll talk about the mentoring component in just a moment. We do public seminars and workshops in 6 major cities, including Boston. I know that that the headquarters of your organization is in Boston. We actually have a seminar coming up next month, June 14th and 15th. I would welcome any and all of you to join us. It's hosted at Simmons College. For those of you in Pittsburgh and Miami, we are not in those cities yet. Probably the closest ones would be New York, DC, hoping to launch something in Atlanta later this year as well. Also do work on the West Coast, LA, San Francisco, Chicago, et cetera. We also do long-term partnerships and multi-week, multi-month programs with universities and institutions. We did something very interesting last fall with Stanford Clayman Institute, where we worked with tech entrepreneurs, and we had a great piece that was published by a Facebook engineer. We hear about Mark Zuckerberg, but where are the women in Facebook, for example? So we're trying to target those voices as well. We have, I mentioned that mentoring is a big component of our work. We have 80 mentor editors, high-level thought leaders, Pulitzer Prize winners, writers, editors who agree to mentor one of our alums, someone who's come through our program, our full-day program, which, on average may be sort of like a 2-hour commitment each month. It's sort of a micro-mentoring kind of by op-ed basis. And that over doubles the rate of success. So it hugely impacts our results. And as a group that that definitely understands the power of mentoring, I think that you could we'll get that statistic as well. And yes, our mentor editors and advisors include white men. We think that they have great ideas too, like the rest of us, and we want them to be part of the solution with us. So we do enjoy having them part of the conversation. In terms of our results, we've had thousands of op-eds published, which we conservatively think has reached hundreds to thousands of people. In terms of the expanding reach. And so, in parting, if we could go from this to a representation of all these faces and all these voices, then we feel like that's really our goal and our mission. So with that, I'm just really excited about all that you all are doing and the ways that you are writing to change the world. And if anyone has further questions, would love to answer them, and you can contact me offline. Here's my email and phone numbers and our information about our website as well.
Alyssa, I had one question. What do you say are the best ways to submit an op-ed? Let's say if you wanted it to post something, maybe Huffington Post or like local newspapers, what are the best ways to go about doing that?
Yeah, that's a great. So we actually have information on our website, which is the opedproject.org, where we have submission information for top forums throughout the country. So you can actually go and see, if I want to submit a piece to the Washington Post, how many words does it have to be? How do I submit it? One of the things that we go over in our in the course of our trainings is how do you pitch? What are sort of the components of a successful pitch? Which obviously I don't have time to get into right now, but in terms of the actual, like, getting the information, seeking the information about different forums, all that information is on our website. So I just direct anyone, to check that out and look at that in more depth. Excuse me. Any other questions?
Hi, Alyssa, this is Rachel again. Thank you so much. That was really great. I'm going to throw out that I went to Rutgers as well, and that's actually part of my question, which is that we work with college students. That's a big component of our program. So how, what I'm trying to say is that we work with a pretty wide audience, starting from college students. We want to really provoke a lot of conversations. In addition to the tools that were so awesome that you gave us, what are kind of best practices for reaching, the widest audience?
And just to clarify the question in terms of trying to, how to perhaps target your, let me step back. Is it in terms of how to reach the widest audience of college women, or how to get as many women that you're working with to reach the largest audiences with their work?
Well, I'm not totally sure. I think it's a big component of our program is enabling college women to become leaders. So how do we, I don't know, maybe it's just how do you reach a really wide audience, I think is what I'm trying to say, in terms of ages.
With your blog.
With your blog, thank you. With your blog, I will clarify. With your blog, how do you reach the widest range of audiences?
And I think just jumping in on that, one of the things that we struggle with is not wanting to alienate anyone. And in some ways, I think the blog is a great place to have diverse opinions and not alienate people. But I guess how do you have those diverse opinions on your blog, but we don't want to have, some of our college women who may be volunteering with us read one of them and be turned off because they think that's representing all of Strong and Strong Girls.
Yeah, I guess one of the things, in terms of our approach is that we really want a diversity of voices, and so we don't necessarily look to, we're a bipartisan, nonpartisan, organization, and so it's, we definitely there are definitely pieces that I might not personally agree with that person's, politics or whatever it may be, but, and so, I think that might be one thing is just, it sounds like there are kind of two questions, but in answering the one about wanting to make sure everyone feels welcome to share their voices, I guess that's one thing in terms of, if you're going to kind of lay down some ground rules, I guess it's either figuring out, is the goal going to be to support a diversity of voices, even when perhaps people aren't going to agree or be coming from the same place, maybe politically or, ideologically from someone else, but the goal is that you want to have, a kind of a wide variety and diversity of opinions and pieces. And if so, then I think that's something you have to kind of weave into the program and making sure people do understand, hey, it's okay, it's okay that you may not, be totally on board with what this piece. Obviously not, not wanting to encourage anyone to do anything that would be, disrespectful, of course. But in terms of, trying to reach as wide an audience as possible, I think that sometimes can go to sort of your viral social media mechanisms, being able to, one thing just in terms of the blogging is I found doing blogging is that the more tags and things, if you may not have seen this on my post, but the Huffington Post piece that we were just looking at, but I have a whole bunch of, I try to put I think it was 15 tags on it, so that way anyone who's searching, who's doing a keyword search for Bella or Twilight or dating violence or whatever it may be, I had a whole bunch of different tags on there. Well, that information will get picked up. So that's one thing in terms of just being able to have other sort of search engines pick up your information is by, putting a lot of different tags that are relevant to the piece. And then, being able to, to tweet and Facebook and, I have to say I'm not an expert in all the, different things like Dig or Delicious or all the different, kind of tagging things that people do to indicate they like something, but certainly, using those different things will get it picked up and moved to other places. Sometimes it's actually interesting to see, I've Googled a piece that I've written and it's gotten picked up and placed on a different blog that I didn't even know about. So that may actually be happening, something I think you can, encourage you to check and see whether other people are maybe, whether there there other blogs that may be referencing the blogs that you all are writing? Another thing is if the bloggers, if they're not already if you all are not in the habit of already putting like the blog in your email signature, that's another way that you can get increased visibility. In fact, I'm remiss, I should have put on this slide that we have a blog on the Op-Ed Project website called, it's hosted on a different site, but it's we call it our byline blog that was started around kind of tracking, the bylines of men versus women on the op-ed pages. So we put all kinds of neat things on there, like pictures of at our recent happy hour or an interview or whatever it may be. And so I think getting in the habit of just making sure that's part of your communication strategy and having that on all the bloggers, email signatures, that way that'll get picked up and seen by, even more people. So I hope that answers both of those questions. Is there anything further that I can address?
Does anyone have any last-minute questions?
Well, thank you, everyone. Feel free to meet offline if you have any thoughts or questions.
Okay. We actually have one more question from here.
Okay.
Hi. I was just wondering, when you mentioned the mentoring program, who is it that these writers are mentoring?
Okay. Great question. I'm sorry, I might be getting some echo. I'm not sure if that's popping up on everyone's phone, but there we go. In terms of our mentor editor program, the mentor editors that we have, they're mentoring women who've come through our program, through our alums, alumni who've come through our program, you have to go through one of our full day programs. So unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to match someone up from this webinar to a mentor editor, but if you want to come to one of our full day programs, then that's part of that, part of the value of that training. And it's set up on, you're not automatically matched with a mentor editor. What happens is once you have a draft op-ed piece ready, then you submit it to an email address that we have on file, and then a staff person does a direct match with a mentor editor who they think would be a great fit. And then so someone coming through our program, if they wanted to write 10 pieces over the course of the next year and submit them to a mentor editor, could feasibly get matched up with 10 different mentor editors, because it's sort of like I said, sort of an op-ed by op-ed basis. And so it's sort of set up as that kind of micro-mentoring program. But I think that sometimes the mentor editors often can help provide information about potential venues that the person may be looking when they're wanting to, whether they want to go with a local paper or or with a magazine or whatever it may be, kind of helping them think about the right venue for the piece as well. So I hope that clarified that for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so does anyone have any other questions?
This was very helpful.
Well,
great.
Alyssa, I want to thank you so much on behalf of the Strong Blogging Corps for taking your time today to speak with us. It was really, really helpful.
Good. Thank you all. I'm just thrilled to be here and to be with you all. And I look forward to continuing to stay posted on your blog pieces. And if I can be a resource in any way, please let me know.
Thank you. And everyone have a great day.